So how are you getting down there?
He just dives in, just jumps in the water and sinks down to the bottom, and then crawls into the hole.
Sinks down to the bottom.
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you push yourself down to the bottom. It's not that. I mean, it's not like you. It's not really deep enough to really dive in. Well, I suppose it technically is 10 feet.
You wade in.
But yeah, I mean, you can just slip in. It's not a gentle slope down, but you just like dangle your legs in, slip off the edge, and in, and then go down, and you've got your lantern. You can see now into the hole. It does curve down a little bit, and you'll have to crawl in to take a look. It looks like about a bit wider than the body of the spider. So there's, plenty of shoulder room on either side as you're going in, or as you would go in if you want to go in.
Yeah, well, after having a good thump around, he will do.
Okay. All right, and it curves around just a little bit, and it's actually not that deep at all. It's relatively shallow, although it's just deep enough and just curvy enough that you couldn't see the back part of it, which widens out a bit from outside. And you see the remains of a humanoid creature. There's armor, a helmet, and a sword, and that's actually still encasing his skeleton.
Right. Give him a poke.
Okay.
In case he's undead.
The skull slowly falls off the skeleton of the body, and kind of drifts down to the floor of this little cavern.
Okay. Does the gear look good?
Surprisingly, yeah. Although the sword is really rusty.
Okay. Let's try and get him out.
Okay. You
in one piece.
Yeah, okay. You try to get him out in one piece, and you succeed in losing most of the bones in the process, but you get his gear.
Yeah, the piece with the stuff on is the piece that Braxon's interested in.
Yeah. So you surface back up, and Higgimus helps you, haul out the remains. It's some splint armor. There's some mud and muck on it, but with just a little bit of wiping, you can see that it appears to be relatively rust-free. Same thing with the helmet, although the sword, which appears to be a bastard sword, is in really bad shape. And in this process, you've lost most of the bones.
Yeah.
All right.
Silly question, but could he? I wouldn't know that. Well, how much of a skeleton is there left?
Now, with this point, there's a few ribs in there and some.
No. Basically, could I tell if it's humanoid or?
Well, it's humanoid.
So is it a human or elf? Something not like big or small or.
The armor appears to be sized for a human creature, so a bit bigger than elven sized.
All right.
Smaller than hobgoblin.
I was just curious to know what it was sized for. That was all.
Could be something like an orc, though.
Yeah, if there was no way to tell from the bones, like you might have seen it in a museum somewhere. What equates to a museum back then? A gallery.
The skull fell out of the helmet, but you could have looked at the skull and figured it out. But Braxon was getting a little bit more interested in the gear, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I wasn't too overly fussed by it, but yeah.
You can go back in and get the skull if you want.
No.
So the splint armor is a fairly standard make, although it appears to be a somewhat on the ornate side, but still functional. And the helmet is actually surprisingly ornate. It's a burgonet, and it's made of brass.
Brassnet helmet.
Burgonet.
Is it Burgonet?
Yep. Might be hard G, I don't know.
Alright, not bad at them.
Okay. That's about all you see around here. Braxon, while you were underwater, you got a decent look at the rest of that area, and you didn't really see anything else.
Is there any sort of tunnel that leads to the other body of water?
Not that you saw.
Were there any spider eggs?
You did not see.
Thought crossed behind.
He didn't see anything of that sort. It was just the one spider, so a little bit difficult to have fertilized eggs that way.
Could have been a male.
Pretty sure spiders are
Little
asexual.
difficult to have fertilized eggs with a male.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure spiders are actually asexual.
Well, they
Are
could
they?
be.
No.
They could be like a seahorse.
Yeah, or a pregnant female.
He didn't see anything of the sort.
Yeah. Braxon was just looking for treasure and for anything connecting this cave to the other cave.
Lafdul's gonna hack off a piece of the leg. He's gonna pass it off to the gnome, see if they can cook something with it. He's got morbid curiosity.
So you hack off the leg and turn to the gnome and say, "Hey, can you cook anything with this?"
Yeah, no, we're gonna bring it to your fellow wives and see if they can cook something up with it.
So you're actually telling him this.
Yeah.
He vomits on your foot.
Hey, don't be like that. Where's your sense of adventure? I slapped
I'm sorry. Excuse me. I gotta go.
And he runs off.
I proceed to make fun of him and start poking him with it.
Oh, he's gone. He ran off now.
Hey, come back here.
Lafdul, you're terrible, 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 terrible.
Indeed.
You're mumbling.
Lafdul, you're terrible.
No,
terrible.
as in character you are, because you're nearly dead.
I can still talk normally.
He just sounds tired.
Ockar just gives me a long, hard sigh. I'd assume.
All right. Next. What do you guys want to do now?
Call the gnome back.
Braxon's
No, he
going
was
to put his
gone.
gear back on.
Okay. And you dry off a little bit, and
There's
get
only
your
the
gear
last
back on.
room they weren't allowed into anyways that's left.
You gonna check out the other one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Higgimus is here.
Higgimus!
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, just getting here.
You
You
killed a
killed
giant
a
water
spider.
spider.
Of course I
Yeah,
did. I wasn't here.
In one hit.
You succeeded
Yeah.
in your saving throw versus poison. Ockar didn't.
And
And
it
that was
almost-
deadly poison.
It almost
that's
killed
good.
me.
Yeah,
Sadly-
Ockar almost died.
Sadly, Higgimus failed his saving throw against the cursed item that turned him into a gnome.
Oh,
A tinker gnome.
that's incredibly sad.
Okay, you head to the last side room that you haven't been into, and it is completely empty. There is nothing in it. There's no lights. It appears that this may have been a storage chamber, and it's just unused.
Is it as empty as the other one?
Can I
So-
look? Can I look for secret doors?
Sure.
I still think
I'll-
we should look at those empty places or after we've rested.
All right. You don't find any secret doors or concealed passages or anything like that, Yeldin.
Okay.
Is there anything particular in this room?
Nope. The floor is fairly even. There are rough-hewn stairs leading up to it. But other than that, it's just basically an empty storage room. It looks like.
Was this part of the area that the rest of the gnomes were not allowed to go to?
Well, Lafdul has chased off the gnome who was with you, so he can't really tell you. But if you ask them later, he'll say that one of them will tell you that they were allowed to go there. They just never did because there was nothing there. They didn't store anything there.
And we have already explored those other places that they were not allowed to go to, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have to come back and look again anyway. Didn't we? We're still missing the secret room of the illusionist, don't we?
No, we went.
There was no secret room.
It was locked, and I opened it with knock.
While we're down this end, does this corridor go any further?
No.
That's a dead end.
Yeah.
So we're going to need to swim down here if we want to see what's down there.
You can if you want.
There's those two water creatures hanging around. I'd rather not.
Yeah, I'd rather not as well. We've got 2 people that are out of spells practically. I have silence, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm out of spells as well.
Yeah. he does the whole finger gesture.
I know, right?
My stubby little hands. Not little, but stubby hands.
So, what do you? I mean, do you guys want to hole up and rest somewhere here?
Higgimus is going to bury himself in the smoke powder.
We could
start doing lines of that.
Well, we've got all the beds in there. We've also got the wizard's room.
They're gnome-sized.
Or we could go back to our ship.
Where did the other Giff sleep?
Yeah.
There are actually if you go back to this area over here, there are actually some bedrolls in the corner that are large enough for a Giff. Military grade bedrolls.
I think Higgimus should have those.
Higgimus has one of those at least. I don't know if you have it on your inventory, but you have one. You would always, of course, you'd have one.
Indeed.
Yeah, we can
Yes,
make a
it's
stack.
got a full size of gift-sized plate armor now.
Yeah. I'll have to ask. Who is it that is good with that? Is it you, Yeldin, that's good with armor smithing?
That's Ockar, I believe.
Oh, okay.
The weapons guy.
Well, it'll be armor smithing in this case here.
No,
fed it to me.
Yeldin was saying that he has weaponsmithing, I believe.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, I have armor smithing as well.
Okay.
He's in no shape to armor smith, though.
No.
And you don't have the equipment to do it here either.
I need to get an actual forge and time to sleep and materials.
The other gift that got chopped up, we should see if there's anything useful on there that we could give to our gift weaponeer.
That would be an insult, wouldn't it?
Half a suit of armor.
The armor is pretty bad shape. It could be repaired, but it's in pretty bad shape.
It'd be paying for half the cost of a normal suit, I guess.
I thought
Maybe.
just the top bit got chopped off.
Oh no, that was no way.
No, that corpse was standing there while it was being hacked to pieces.
Yeah, it was right through his torso.
It was pretty brutal.
Doesn't he even have a pair of boots?
He has a pair of boots, but so does your Giff. Your Giff has plenty of pairs of boots, I'm sure.
What about a
Yeah,
helmet?
they have boots.
No, they don't have helmets.
Yeah, I don't typically wear helmets. I mean, they might.
Gloves?
They can, and they certainly can, and they would go for, ones that would be elaborate and impressive.
Do they have a horn on them?
Do these Giff have any sort of papers that should be passed on to the Giff authorities so that people know they died bravely in battle?
Name tag. Dog tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, Higgimus has already collected that sort of thing. I'll just say.
Yeah. I would figure that my etiquette training would have dictated that for me.
Yeah.
I say, since we explored everywhere, was there anything neat that we found in the rest of the exploration that I missed?
You missed a very rusty iron chest filled with a whole pile of copper coins and a metal vial with a liquid inside. And
Were those written down?
Yeah.
I've wrote them on the Google Doc. They're at the bottom now. Right at the very bottom.
And there was also a suit of splint armor and a helmet.
I didn't write pseudo splint, but
If you wrote splint armor, that's fine.
yeah, I just put magical question mark in brackets, and I put brass for the bargain.
And a rusty
helmet.
sword. And a
Did we
rusty
get the sword?
You,
It's a rusty bastard sword.
He took it out.
Rusty
It's
Rusty
really
sword.
rusty.
sword.
That's okay. We'll give it to the rock hoppers.
What page are you
Yeah.
on?
Literally at the very bottom.
Oh, at the very bottom. Okay.
I just put it there for yeah.
Unfortunately, Braxon, as you're handling that bastard sword, it breaks apart in your hands.
Wait, what?
Very brutal.
He's determined not to let me keep the scrap metal.
I am. Yes, I am.
Let's give him the rusty. Let's give him the rusty box as a present instead.
What? We can't just reforge that sword?
No, it's
It's
falling
been
apart.
It literally fell to pieces because
Shards of metal. No. All right, I'll just delete that off.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I will do this. If you guys are starting to carry around crap, I'm gonna start doing that kind of thing.
It had AuldDragon fatigue.
Oh, gosh. All right. So we've explored everywhere. Perhaps we should set up watches along with the crew and take a well-earned rest and regather ourselves and figure out how we're going to take back all this prizes, the prize ship and the bounty and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How much damage has everyone took? So I don't know how many healing spells I'm going to need. I'm basically going to need a full night's rest to heal everyone up, I think.
People are in pretty bad shape. Some
Yeah,
people.
so all my spells for healing.
Yeah, I'm pretty messed up.
You did
Yeah,
take
I
4
got-
points of damage in addition, Higgimus.
How many points of damage did
4.
I
I
take?
already took it off your
Okay.
hit point total. Just letting you know that you're 4 lower than when you left last time.
I wouldn't know.
I'm 10 out of 26, so yeah.
I got 4 cure lights, 3 cure moderates when I rest, if I get a chance to.
All right, so resting Leva, you'll get your new spell slot and new spell. As you're
Did she
studying
make
for
that
the
already?
night, you suddenly have kind of an epiphany, remembering some, descriptions and information from your training, your learning of wild magic, and a spell that you'd heard about in these descriptions. It just suddenly all clicks in your head, and you're able to copy it down into your spellbook.
Okay. now I need to read up on what exactly it does. So I did copy the ingredient.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to take that as a memorized spell if you don't want to right now. So.
Well, I think it's rather useful.
All right, I'm just saying. Yeah, it's up to you. Especially if you don't have the material components on hand. All right, so you guys basically just gonna have watch set up. You can have your crew members do the watches for you if you want to get the rest.
Yeah, Braxon's got 3 temporary hit points of damage, and on top of that, 2 normal points of damage. So
temporary ones that recovers automatically then.
Yeah.
I think the temporary hit point damage I had earlier, it was already calculated as recovered.
Okay,
I just have to wait for a bit. What are we doing?
Resting.
Resting.
I have a question. It's not going to be relevant now because obviously I won't have any spells. But if obviously someone got hit by deadly poison, what would happen if I cast slow poison on a deadly poison? It just delays it literally as it is.
Yeah.
Slow.
Yeah.
So I'd have another turn or two.
You have hours.
But...
You have hours to get it.
So it doesn't matter the potency of the poison; it does slow it to hours.
Yeah, there's some of them. If it's a case where, I mean, it's a little bit not as useful a spell sometimes. What I would treat it as is that if you slow the poison and it has an onset time, I would generally have, if it occurs, during the slowed period, then I would probably have it just not have any effect. Instantaneous poisons, it would be similar to what happened with Ockar, and then you would have to cure it in order to prevent it from having the effect. You can talk about that after the game.
I think Braxton should have a look at our ship because our ship had some damage, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I think we fixed one hull point on the way over.
I probably shouldn't have let you do that, but it was just kind of a gimme because it's supposed to take a week. I realized afterwards.
Is it? Oh, right.
It's supposed to be a week per hull point.
Okay, then. Ooh. Well, then Braxton should be doing shifts worth of fixing, shouldn't he?
You can also get some. I mean, you can get some rest.
I suggest we just take the rest and we do that while we're flying.
All right.
Have we left the cave?
No, we're still in the cave. That's what I
was
mean.
gonna. Oh.
I mean, there's still 2 marrow underwater somewhere.
Exactly.
That may kill us. Yet.
Well, we could get people from the ship to stay and watch.
Yeah, they're standing watch while we're resting.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I say that's what we should do. Have take up the watches with the ship crew. Figure out how we're going
to be able to do watch if he almost died. I think he has to spend the entire time sleeping just to get over it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we got the crew. We get the crew to do it. Then we replace the crew with other crew.
Yeah, that's why I suggested the crew. Just have the crew do it, and all of you can get rest and sleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That sounds great. And then figure out how we're going to carry our prizes back to Brawl. And maybe we can get bounty off of them.
Well, we could get the gnomes to fly their ship out of the frickin' hole.
Now, I mean, I do want to point out that no one has taken any kind of active measure to try to find the marrow underwater. You're just kind of like sitting and waiting for them to
come back if they're gonna come back.
Yeah.
We would have to warn our crew.
Yeah, we warn them, but we have to attempt to rest.
The thing is going after them is not very viable under the water. We have to wait for them to come to the surface.
Yeah, we can't fight them underwater. Not well.
Well, do they even exist, or are they an illusion?
Oh, they must have been real.
How do you know?
Because they were
I
using
would-
non-lethal.
I would suggest that we get our people that are doing the watch, that we get some of them
There's
to
only
go
three.
up. 3. All right. Well, I would suggest we get them to go up on the walkways and to shoot them arrow with arrows if they come out the water.
Okay.
Someone needs. Well, I'd say at least one of them would have to watch the gnomes. And put 2 on top. Because we're all going to be asleep, I assume.
I guess I can ask the gnomes how the illusionist guy handled them, or if they even knew that those things were there.
They didn't even know that they were there.
Oh, okay.
Well, if we wanted to do that, we could just all get inside the Scavver ship and shut the door with our people watching the gnomes to make sure they don't fly the ship off, and then come out afterwards, and there'd be no risk then.
I think we'll be fine with.
Except they could be waiting an ambush.
Oh, no, death by gnomes.
It is very loud in the ship. Because the gnomes are doing routine maintenance basically all the time. The only place that's kind of quiet is the forward cabin.
It's the forward cabin, yeah, which is where we would rest.
I can't be there.
Which is
we
not
could-
big enough for 6 people.
No?
No.
Not even if we take in the gift-sized bedrolls.
No.
And make a big bed to lie on together.
I'm still. I'll made it clear last time that that ship was uncomfortably small for me.
And the room, I mean, that room, 3 of you may be able to fit in there. I mean, I guess it's not that. It's a little bit bigger than I thought, but there's a lot of furniture, and it's the front of the ship. The roof is, the ceiling of the cabin isn't, is pretty low. It just would be very uncomfortable for 6 people all resting in there.
Yeah, we're just better off resting in the cave while the gnomes are sleeping and have somebody watch the water.
Yeah. Once again, Sep watches.
I pass my whistle to one of the crewmen. You guys might want to pass a couple of whistles over.
You may remember that there is an alarm system in here already with
Oh.
pole ropes
All right.
and bells.
That'll do.
Okay. So I mean, you can just rest in like this big room back here, or this smaller room up here. I mean, if you want to be away from the water, or you could actually choose to go with Evart's room or the dining chamber.
Let's go for the smaller room then.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay.
Also have our crew set up, loading up the stuff we found.
Do you want them to load it on your Wasp, or do you want to load it on the Scavver ship?
It's gonna prefer it to be on the Wasp because the Scavver, we don't know what's gonna end up happening to the Scavver ship.
Everyone
Point.
agree with that?
I agree.
Well, I'm not going to disagree. So.
The
I
main
think
reason
we-
is that it'll be less awkward for when we show up at Brawl, and
Yeah.
we don't have to be like, oh, let's unload all this stuff here. Oh, by the way, this is all ours.
Yeah.
Rather just be on our ship to begin with.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. They go ahead. Some of your crew. I mean, they haven't been doing much for quite a while, so I'm gonna basically say that enough crew are, in good enough shape to do watches and move some of the cargo. They get some of the gnomes to help out as well, so you're able to get all the barrels of smoke powder onto your ship. If you want to take any of the other materials as well, that's fine too. You don't need to specify right now. You can just write that down based on what I mentioned earlier, or just ask me later what was actually there. I mean, at that point, it's just basically supplies otherwise. You surprisingly have a relatively quiet rest. the marrow don't appear to have made a return. At least your people on watch don't say anything. They did say that they kept up to the on the bridges. One does tell you that he thinks there might be some sort of small cave or cubby of some sort down in the main pool underwater.
Under which part?
He tells you that it appears to be under this ledge here.
That's where they popped out to begin with, wasn't it?
You first saw them over here, I believe.
On the bridge.
Yeah, on the
Well,
Nice.
Higgimus didn't see him.
Well, everyone else.
Okay.
Okay, we can check that out. There's got to be an exit somewhere as well.
You could just ask the gnomes how the ship gets out.
Oh yeah, the gnomes would tell you that they
Submerges.
submerge the ship and go out down to the south. I mean, this is it slopes down to be close to the water edge. The cave does, but the water clearly goes in that direction.
To be honest, we don't need to go after the marrow. We just leave them alone.
That's entirely up to you. I mean, some of it's going to depend on what you want to do with the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Put our
Sorry, go ahead.
put our headquarters there.
Could we identify these as marrow?
No, we don't know exactly what they are, but we're just calling them that for expedience sake.
I mean, since I'm using the name, I don't have a problem with you
Or
guys
what
realizing it.
what I would have
Aquatic
suggested-
ogres are, I mean, they were tall, they looked ogreish-like. It's not an unreasonable conclusion to come to that they're marrow. You'd have
I was
heard about,
thinking-
you know, one of you would have heard about coastal depredations. Lafdul and Yeldin, you both went through Evermeet to get into space, I believe you said. So
yeah.
they're familiar with marrow attacks on the coast of Evermeet. So
Okay.
If they were undead, would they contain bone marrow?
That's just bad. Just
yeah,
no.
no.
Oh, Lafdul, before we go to sleep, I would have mentioned to you if when you wake up, if you can ask for that opening spell of yours again.
For the wizard locked chest.
Yeah, we
I'm
have that
not
engraved
sure
footlocker
how.
again.
Is it 24 hours or is it a resting period?
It's 24 hours.
So not. I won't get it until the next a full day.
Okay. I mentioned that to you.
Yeah.
And
Basically, when we're on the ship.
And Higgimus, can we open the pouch when we wake up?
Yeah, we can open the patch when we wake up.
Okay.
All right. So, everything's pretty uneventful. I mean, unless there's something else that you guys want to do while resting.
Do I? No. Wow.
Yes.
I'm resting, so. Do
No,
I
that-
roll for the healing, or is it done automatically? So I'm putting all my spells into healing.
Yeah, we'll need to roll for them.
Do you want me to do them now?
Who do you want to start with?
Well, starting off with Higgimus. Cure Moderate on him. I think it's 1d10 plus 1.
Okay.
I just need to double check that one.
Magic resist.
I already rolled it. It's fine.
I hate that.
You hate that.
Sure,
I think
yeah.
Higgimus hates that a little bit more.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
He's not
It's
gonna-
kind of
You get that much healing.
how much was
Alright,
that?
next
5.
5. This is on Yeldin.
Alright.
Oh, you took very well to that healing. How? Alright. I will do a
I'm
cure.
definitely good.
Yeah, how much are you missing, Ockar?
Just 5 points.
Alright, you get a cure light.
I don't think Braxon needs anything.
I've got a full roster of spells. I got 3 more. Yeah, that puts you at full. I got 3 more cure lights, 1 more cure moderate. So I'll do another cure moderate on Higgimus.
And then he magic resists.
I don't know. Oh, don't you dare!
It worked.
Excellent. I'm at full now. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Alright, 3
your
more
help there,
cure
Lafdul.
lights. So another one on Yeldin.
Alright.
I would have loved if Ald actually did have that power. Just to see the reaction.
How much did that bring you up? How
I'm
much
like
more?
1 short.
1.
If you're actually 1 short, then I'll say that you got 1 from resting.
Alright, so I just have 2 cure lights left. That'll be my spells. I'm not going to change my spells.
Same
but-
thing goes for you, Braxon, if you're a couple short.
Braxon's too short, so
Yeah, I ain't using cure light for 1 hit point.
Alright.
he'd get 1 for resting, wouldn't he?
Yeah, you got 1 for resting.
So
you're one,
He'd
you're
be
down.
1 down.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, over the rest period, everything got loaded up that you wanted loaded up. If you want to check that pouch, how many coins do you remember what was in there?
3 copper.
Okay, so there are, you open it up and you find 3 silver pieces in it, I believe. Let me double check.
Let's leave them inside then.
Probably should have said something before I...
We need to check on these on shorter intervals to see if they're upgrading 1 at a time or all at a time.
I'm gonna say that it's been a day, give or take, since you put them in. Well, unless you guys know for sure that it's been longer.
I think it's just been a day.
Okay. Then yes. You open
Was it
the
on the
pouch
goblin
and you find
porcupine?
3 silver pieces instead of 3 copper pieces.
Aha!
Okay.
It does change the denomination.
Mm-hmm. 1 up. 1 up. So next time we're gonna have 3 gold?
Electrum.
Oh, okay, yes.
How about we take the silver out and just place like a bunch of gold in there and see if it turns into platinum?
Are we actually using Electrum?
I use Electrum in the game.
Yeah, I've
all
been
this
using
given us
Electrum.
Electrum before.
I
What's
keep
wrong with
on
Electrum?
thinking. I keep on thinking like nobody ever uses it. It's the one currency nomination that no one ever uses it because it's so awkward in the freaking thing.
It's a $50. I mean, to a certain extent, people don't use $50 in real life, but they make a better large unit of currency. You know, I mean, it's a good unit of currency in between gold and silver. I like Electrum.
I've never seen a $50 in real life. Never.
Oh, I have a pile of them. I collect them. I love them.
Nobody ever uses them, and I've never seen them at like anybody spend them at stores or anything.
When I was a
There
bank
used
teller,
to be
I
a
collected a
50
whole bunch.
cent coin in. There used to be a 50-cent coin in Canada. They stopped making them.
Well, there used to be a half penny too, but
I hate Penny.
what were you saying, Asher?
Oh, I used to be a bank teller, and we would collect them when people would run them through the coin machine. Well, I would keep all the silver ones anyway.
Oh yeah, those are really nice. All right, so one of the crew members on guard also mentioned that little underwater cavern or hole as well that I mentioned earlier.
Okay, so my question to you guys is, do we want to try to go in there and explore and maybe hunt down those things that everybody else saw?
I think that maybe
Yes.
we should just take the ship with us, and leave since we've completed the job.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
that was the other option there, is just leave it for now, keep this place in mind as a place we can set up for a base once we become more financially stable.
And prepared to deal with
And prepared.
underwater.
And that's true. Prepared to deal with the traveling underwater thing. Or if we want to build a docks out by where we have our ship at right now.
Like I said, like I believe I mentioned this last time yesterday, but the only problem that we would have here is being able to get our ship in and out because it has to be a submersible of some kind.
And like I said, that would be why I said we should, if we were going to do it, we could build a docks.
Yeah.
Out, here where we came in.
Yeah.
I thought part of the reason we wanted this place because it's well hidden.
That wouldn't matter so much.
One thing I think we should do on the way out is have a chat with the rock coppers, because if they travel around this cluster, if we let them know that we've cleared the area out apart from the marrow creatures, then they could come back in and get water. And if they are in the area and they're going to come in and collect water, they'll keep it clear for us.
That sounds good.
Okay. The Brawlian Navigator, whose name I need to look up.
Yeah, we gotta talk to him about the gnomes.
Where did I write his name down? Okay, I think it was here. Yes, Farad Alanoth. He offers.
I was just about to say that.
Pardon me. He offers to take command of the Thresher and take it back to Brawl.
That works.
Oh, I was going to suggest Braxon do it, but what do the rest of you feel? You feel that's
I don't see that as a
enough?
problem.
Have
I
I
mean-
learned enough of the star charts to be able to help navigate us?
Yeah.
Back to Brawl.
Yeah, and you also know enough that if you wanted to try to visit the location of the attack on Sora Callahan's ship, you could go there and see if there's anything salvageable.
Yeah.
I think
That might be for another time.
we should do that another time. For now, let's just head back to Brawl, report this to our employer. And,
Is the site of the attack close?
Yeah.
Then we should go, because if there's someone marooned, we might be able to save their life. And if we go away and come back later, we might come back and find a body.
It's already been weeks.
anybody that's there is probably already dead.
Probably dead, but it wouldn't hurt to go swing past.
How much of a detour is it?
Just a few hours, but to actually search the area, I would say that the overall trip would basically just be an extra day.
We should do it.
We don't have the time.
Why
Yeah, we
not?
do.
No, we don't. We still
We've
have to
eliminated-
Get back we still have to get back. We still have to escort the ship as part of the job in case anything else happens.
Yeah, we were kind of hired to escort the ship.
But you've taken care of the threat.
Even if
Yeah,
we took
we've
care of the
eliminated
threat,
the
we were
problem.
still hired to escort the ship out of the crystal sphere.
Well, so we contact the ship and we tell the people on that ship that we took care of the problem and they can easily go ahead on their own.
Well,
We
we've got
don't
no
have a-
spells to
we don't have a way
contact
to-
them.
Yeah, we don't have a way to contact them. We have to go back and tell them.
We agreed on the meeting place
Did we?
because
Did we?
yeah,
don't
because
think
we were going ahead.
I don't think.
Oh, I don't
I
remember
don't
that.
think we do.
I thought we
Um,
were just gonna come back and leave again with them.
Hold on a sec, guys. We were given the point in which we were supposed to rendezvous to escort them out. So I'm pretty sure that was probably really close to Brow, though.
I think we should search for survivors. We might find nothing. We might find supplies. We might find the ship's log. We might find,
Escort. I will say that the escort wasn't a required element of the mission if you somehow found another way to prevent the attack, which you've done.
Oh, we don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be
way these
Fluorus
things got,
by now.
but-
I mean, you know that the route that Sora Calhane's ship is going to take. You could always just meet it up and let them know that everything is good and everything's safe, and they can continue on.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds reasonable to me.
I just
Yeah,
don't
I'm
see the
fine with
point of
that.
going to check the other crest side because I don't think there's going to be anything there.
Ald, real quick.
Yeah.
I was adrift because my ship exploded before we formed this group here. What do I think the likelihood of there still being people left alive
Not
after this thing?
Not very. You
Not
weren't
very.
adrift for that long, and you had some large pieces, but you were still only adrift for a short time because I would say that you were part of a fleet maneuver kind of thing. So there were multiple ships in your group, but they weren't terribly close. So it was a few hours kind of thing, but certainly not a day.
Okay. I'll say that to you, Braxon. Be like, it really isn't likely that there's going to be somebody left alive, but I do like the idea of there might be cargo that we could claim.
There might
At
be
this point
cargo.
here, Ald, is it would that cargo be free game or is it one of those
Marked.
things we have to return it to the rightful owner, yada yada?
You would be expected to return it since you know the rough location of where it happened and stuff like that.
I'm sure there'd be salvage payments.
Yeah, I mean you may be due an additional reward though.
Okay. In that case, I suggest we do that.
Braxton could spend the day fixing the ship.
We do need the
You
money.
need a week.
though.
Yeah, but he could spend a day fixing the ship while we're looking.
A tenth of a whole point back.
Also, there is one more concern I have. I don't want the Brow Navy men to take the credit for the prize ship here and defeating the pirates and all that whatnot.
You could send some of your crew along, and you could take some of the gnomes with you.
You think that'll work? Do you think my character would think that would work?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
at least it would create enough doubt that when you got back, you could give your story kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be my main concern there. I wouldn't want the Navy man to take the credit for all that.
We'd have to split the crew up, I assume, or are you referring to our crew?
Crew.
Yeah, they're just hirelings.
They're loyalish.
We don't have names for them.
But they're loyalish.
They pay.
You pay them.
They don't have names.
They would be more loyal if they had names.
Yes, I agree.
We pay them, and the Navy
They haven't
does-
been paid yet.
You could send the Giff along. He does have a name.
Oh. Is that your bargaining chip there?
That's up to you guys.
The GM raises you one Giff.
I mean, I will say that Higgimus, you would feel much more confident in the Giff being able to convey that upon the ship's return to Brawl.
Or could we just have them follow along with us?
You could.
They could follow.
A lot of cargo.
They could follow along
that
with
seems
us.
reasonable. Yeah, they should follow along with us because if there's a lot of cargo, obviously our little ship probably wouldn't be able to hold all of it. Maybe.
Oh, just as an interjection to this whole idea, because this gnome ship's being powered by magic items, how long does that have fuel-wise?
If you ask one of the gnomes, they'll tell you that they believe that there's another week left before a new item needs to be put in.
Sorry.
I'm just imagining the faces of the people we meet. The people we are supposed to meet to tell them that everything is okay if we're followed by a big giant Scavver.
You could tell it to stay behind an asteroid at that meeting point.
There you go.
I just don't. I'm just having trouble seeing the point of going to check the place out.
More money. We need it.
Yeah, cargo, extra money.
I think we're fine enough, but okay.
Well, the
With how
majority of us
expensive
want to
things
do.
are, plus we got to think about docking fees. We got to think about paying the crew a little bit of extra. We got to.
This is relatively easy money for little effort, so.
And
There's
we already.
also-
I'm pretty sure we already paid the crew in like a month advance or some. I don't
Have
recall
we?
how much.
2 months in advance, yeah.
There's also the law of the spheres. If we were marooned, we'd like someone to come out and look for us.
Yeah. Probably.
Is that a law?
You just made it up. Sounds good. All right.
Safe versus black.
So okay, that sounds like an idea.
That sounds
Finish
more like a
off.
save versus bullshit.
Let's get everything packed up here. Get some of our crew, exchange some of the crew, so we have a mix.
Do you want to
So
send
nobody
the gift
backs-
with the threat? Well, I mean, if you're
Yeah.
having the Scavver ship come with you, then you don't need to do the crew exchange.
All right.
Yeah, it would be better to keep Private Runthus with us.
Yeah,
I
the
suggest
Giffers are gonna
all,
like it over there.
I suggest that all the stuff that seems to be like only useful for the freaking Scavver ship, to put it on the Scavver ship.
Oh, all the spare supplies. Yeah. But yeah,
Like,
all the
those
rest of it.
weird metal bits that we have no idea what they're for. Only the gnomes do.
Yeah, the spare parts for the Thrasher. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, let's just pack everything up and go investigate the area. That sounds like a good idea for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your best bet would probably be to meet with the Sora Calhane ship, which is not that far. I mean, I'm not going to add a whole, mess of time to that. Let them know that everything's good, then search for the wreckage, and then go back to Brawl.
Okay,
Sounds like
we'll
an
do that
excellent
then.
plan.
Okay, then let's go ahead and take the break now. When we come back, we'll get everything set off. If you guys have any questions for what you want to put on what ship, you can ask me during the break.
Okay.
All right.
Then we'll be back in about 10 minutes, so a little bit past the beginning of the hour. Let me get... Oh, that's not the right thing. All right.